That is the first official episode of Bulletproof. Bulletproof is a series of motivational talks that are sure to change your mind, affect your outlook on life, affect your future, and to give you a sense of success in this life. So, welcome to Bulletproof. I'm Eric Jones, and I am in Rhonda, North Carolina. Rhonda is a place out in the country, the countryside of beautiful Northwest North Carolina. Gorgeous place right over the horizon, right over the field from the home of Junior Johnson, the famous NASCAR driver. And we're here to talk about becoming bulletproof. What does that mean? There's a lot of things called bulletproof. There's a lot. I looked them up. I Google searched it. Bulletproof is used so many times for so many different things. But what I want to talk about is that you can have a life that is bulletproof. The kind of bullets I'm talking about are the bullets that are shot from other people, physical, even mental, emotional bullets, psychological bullets, you name it, things that seem to hold you back. This is a time that we can set the foundation. And the foundation is very important. You look at a house. Anytime you see a house that's still standing, you're going to know that that house most likely has a good foundation. If you don't have a good foundation, if you're cracked, if your foundation is cracked, if you have a foundation that is weak, then you will not be able to stand the test of time. You won't be able to stand the onslaughts of whatever comes from life. And believe me, every time you wake up, there are things trying to shut you down. You have emotions, you have things that come to your mind. Sometimes I wake up in the morning just afraid. Why am I afraid? I ask myself that question. Why am I afraid? There's nothing to be afraid of except fear itself. Fear will control you. Fear will make you miserable. It will consume you. Fear, anxiety, those things are real. And if you have struggle with that, you understand what I'm talking about tonight. You fully understand that. But there are ways that we can overcome fear and anxiety. And that's to look at our foundation. We've got to step back, dig a little deeper in the ground, and look at the foundation that we have. And we may have to make a few adjustments to our foundation. The first adjustment you need to make to your foundation, you must have a foundation of faith. Faith. Faith in what? Well, I walk across the yard, in my yard. I walk across the house. I walk across where my office is, and I have faith that the ground is going to keep me up. I don't ever think about it. I don't ever think, well, I wonder if this ground is going to come and it's going to fall in and take me with it. It's faith. I have full faith in that. Most of the time, I have faith when I start my F-150 four-wheel drive FX4 pickup truck. I have full faith that that thing will start up when I turn the key. Now, the only time it won't is if I have a battery that's worn out, that's old, that's dead because I left a key on or left a light on or something like that. But most of the time I get in it, I don't even think twice about it. So faith, I have faith. I have faith in humanity. Faith in humanity. There's some good people left in the world. And you have to know that. There are good people everywhere you go. And you'll know the good ones from the bad ones. You'll know the ones you can trust and the ones you can't trust. You have to have a little bit of what do you call it? You have to have somewhat of a perception of people. My wife has this intuition that she knows if the person is not going to be good for me, if the person is not going to stand by me, she knows it. She has that intuition. She has that perception of people. And most of the time you do. Sometimes we ignore those things and we kind of pretend like it's going to be okay when it really isn't going to be okay. But we're talking about bulletproof tonight, building the foundation to have a bulletproof life. First thing is faith. You have to have faith in what you are here for. What is your purpose? Why are you on this earth? You know, there's so many things that could have stopped you from coming to this earth. Think about all. We're going to talk a little biology here. Think about all the sperms that came running to your mom's egg, and you're the one that made it. You are the one that fought through all the millions, and you made it. You made it. There is a reason, there's a purpose for you to be upon this earth. Don't ever let anybody make you feel different than that. There's a reason for your being. You have purpose, and you need to have faith in that purpose. You may not know what it is. You may not understand it fully, but you will if you continue seeking your purpose. Bulletproof. We're talking about becoming bulletproof here. Have faith that you have a purpose. Purpose is found, guess how? Purpose is found in your daily disciplines. Purpose is found in those things that really get your wagon wheel going, get your motor running. Purpose is those things that consume you. Consume you. Maybe you're here to help people. Helping people is a messy business, but somebody's got to do it. And I'm here to help you become bulletproof. So you have to have faith. Faith that there's purpose, faith that you're here for a purpose and a reason, faith that somebody, somewhere, I want to call him God. And as AA calls it, God of our understanding, a higher power, whatever you want to call it, I call him God, has a purpose for you. If you think of all the various chemical reactions in your body, all the various things that make you who you are, you're a very complex human being. So you have to have faith that someone higher than you understands and has a purpose for you. Bulletproof. You have to start with faith. Faith. I remember when I was a kid, I was going to college and I knew what college I was going to. I went to school in Lakeland, Florida, and I lived in Vance, Alabama. If you've never heard of Vance, Alabama, Vance is a location that has two Mercedes-Benz plants right now. It's right on the Interstate 2059, going through the middle of Alabama, and I drove to Lakeland, Florida in a 1972 Chevrolet C10 pickup, short wheelbase, step side. Loved that truck. It was a hot rod. It was 3-speed on the column with a 6-cylinder hot rod. But I loved it anyway because it belonged to my grandfather. It had meaning to me. But I left and I had faith that I could make it. I was all alone, never driven that far in my whole life. I set out just me and the world, me and the truck, me and some gas money, and headed toward the unknown. I'd been there one time before, but I didn't really know how to get there except by the map. I had faith that the map would show me how to get there. You got to find your map for your life, whatever that map is. My map is the Bible. I follow the Bible. The Bible has never let me down. It gives me inspiration, gives me direction. Find that map, and that map will lead you. for your direction and your purpose. Bulletproof. Have faith there's purpose in your life. Have faith that the higher power, that God will be there with you. Have faith that you can accomplish what you set your mind to and what you have talents and abilities to accomplish. One of the first things I realized when I was 18 years old, I was visiting with my girlfriend's uncles. Now, she's my wife now. We've been married for 38, almost 38 years. And she left me there with her two uncles. And I had no idea what I was getting into. What I got into was two surgeons, two doctors, and they're talking doctor shop language. And I am sitting there, I barely made it through biology. And I'm listening and I'm trying to think of something to say that I would not feel stupid about. But I determined that day I did not have what it took to be a doctor. I did not have the mentality, I didn't have the brains, the smarts to be a doctor. You know what you can do and what you can't do. Don't listen to your mom who said, honey, you can do anything you want to do. And that's not true. You can do what you are talented to do and what you have abilities to do. And sometimes if you don't have the abilities, if you have the passion for it, if you desire to learn, you can learn. But most of the time, if you have it's that inner direction in that way, you have an interest in that, a deep interest in whatever it is. And if you have the abilities, if you gain the abilities, if you go and get the education, that you can do many, many things. But you have to have faith. Bulletproof, we're talking about. Bulletproof, being bulletproof in your life. Bulletproof. A lot of folks, we have cracked foundations. Cracked foundations are dangerous. So we have to repair the foundation. Can't really change it out. We need to repair it, fill in the cracks. And you fill in the cracks with love, fill in the cracks with motivation, self-motivation, realizing that you have great potential. You have great potential. Maybe you've had people tearing you down a lot. Friends, you have great potential, and you need to understand that. To be bulletproof, you have to know yourself. Know yourself. And I'm not talking about blowing smoke at yourself, making you think you are some way, but you're really not. You need to know yourself. Know yourself. So far we've seen faith that we have a purpose and a direction and have a reason for being, faith in a higher power, faith in God, faith that there's someone bigger than myself, faith that I can accomplish what I set out to accomplish, and faith that I can do the things that I'm uniquely skilled to do. And I'm developing skills. I used to want to be a mechanic until I worked on my truck. I determined then I didn't really want to be a mechanic. I didn't like getting dirt in my eyes, rust in my eyes. So you need to find out what you can do and what you want to do, what you really like to do. This is part of being bulletproof. This is the foundation. Do some self-motivation. Listen to some motivational materials. This is a motivational material. Listen to it. You can accomplish much more than you think you can do. Remember that. We always think on the lower levels, but you can accomplish greater things than you think you can. Remember that. Repair the foundations. Bulletproof starts with a firm, solid foundation of faith, of knowing, of seeking and finding. Have a good night.